don't understand how the squad was put together to ever be competitive at the top end of the Super League.
No.
And next year, with the different way it's formatted, I think they need to think about that a little bit more to keep the fans engaged. But great credit to the fans. 8,000 over 8,000 there. They've had great attendances throughout these qualifiers, Super 8s, and I think that's one of the real positive stories from this is the Hull KR fans sticking with that club over the last 2 years, and hopefully they are rewarded by having a team that's a bit more consistent, and they keep some of the players who've shone for them in this eights, like Crooks and Hall maybe. They get a bit more consistency out of people like Vivai next season, and see where they go from there, because they've got some quality. For Widnes, obviously, we talked a lot about them earlier, so fair dues. Do you want to give us the standings? Have you got anything you want to slag off Hull KR about to even the balance, or are you happy with FC Page and Always in Oshella doing the job?
They are well supported. They're probably, I'd say, the second best supported team in Hull.
Probably, yeah. I agree. Do you want to take us through the final qualifier standings then, Sarah?
Yeah, so Salford win the qualifiers with Leeds safely yet scrappily retaining Super League status in second. Hull KR sealed that vital third place, meaning fourth place Toronto will host fifth place London to see which championship side makes the leap up to Super League. Toulouse entertained but just miss out on the promotion race in sixth. Widnes ends seventh and Halifax eighth.
Okay, brilliant. That means that I've lost my page. Okay, predictions. I went 7 out of 8 last week, so my cumulative total now is 142. I have a 5-point lead over the co-host, because we agreed last week, didn't we, that the best scorer from the co-hosts would his or her score will be carried over to make up the team's score. So that puts you guys on 137, because Alan went 8 out of 8. It's a good job that we didn't do an average score.
Could we not add all of our scores together?
You'd only just be ahead of me.
Yeah.
Because you went 4 out of 8, Sarah.
I know.
And Laggers and Rob went 5 out of 8 each. So well done to Alan. 8 out of 8. Sterling performance.
Yeah.
In terms of the Super Brew, though, either Alan didn't get his votes in or Paul O'Brien also went 8 out of 8 because he wears the yellow cap this week. John Bennett stays at the top of the table, though. He's had a great run of form, and I think it's difficult to see him being caught. Now, another person difficult to see being caught is in the Dream Team. Alan Bagley, he stays top. He has been since, March. John Hamilton had the best weekly score in a low scoring round. He got 494. I'm not sure if the Dream Team's still open for the next 2 weeks or not. We shall see, because I tried to make transfers today thinking get some more semi-finals players in, and it wouldn't let me, but maybe it was still on lockdown. However, what I was going to say is we're going to get Super League pod t-shirts for the winners of the respective leagues if they get in touch with me through the through the right channels. So John Bennett and Alan Bagley, if you're listening, do get in touch if you stay in your lofty positions. If not, whoever overtakes you, get in touch. That is the Super 8s done forever.
Well, until it's introduced.
Well, there's only one more game really out of the Super 8s that matters, isn't the £1 million game. But we will wave goodbye to that structure, and we will look now to other results from around the world of rugby league. Other results now then, sponsored by jkmartwork.com. Check out jkmartwork.com, where you can buy prints, canvases and more of James's stadium paintings. All UK Super League clubs are covered, and a couple of clubs outside Super League too. And you get old stadiums and new stadiums as well if you go looking in the right places, as well as football stadiums, cricket grounds and more. JKM Artwork can help you find the perfect gift for the sports fan in your life. Okay, it was the Championship Shield round 7, and for the first time in the Championship Shield's tenure this season, the games actually mattered. Sheffield 22, Rochdale 32. That was a huge win for Rochdale. 2 wins on the bounce to finish the season sees them safe. Featherstone 34, Barrow 6. That means Featherstone romp into the final of the Championship Shield in a great run of form and able to almost put a full side together. I think this week they did have a full side. Let me double check, because we've had a lot of no, they didn't have a full side out. They only managed to name 3 substitutes. Did the top side in the Championship Shield this campaign, but only able to name no substitutes was the Leigh Centurions. They went down 52 points to 6 away at Dewsbury. Let's just touch on this not naming full sides. What's the crack?
I don't know. Surely you can find somebody.
Well, I think maybe part of the problem, obviously, is you can't sign new people and you can't bring new dual reg players in and stuff like that either. And obviously, Leeds had a under-19s grand final to play, which means that all of Featherston's signings for next year were busy playing for Leeds' under-19s. I don't know what Lee's excuse is other than Derek Beaumont has really let the sport down.
Yeah, after his war cry at the end of the £1 million game last year, I really, it was last year, wasn't it? When
it was. Yeah.
I really respected him saying, I've told the players and the coaches that whatever happens, they just go and get changed, and I'll deal with all the media, and at least they've got a backer in me who can sustain them, unlike if Catalan had gone down and all the rest of it. And I thought, fair play to you. And then it's like he's got bored or something.
Well, he just didn't like the way it went on the field, and it's meant him pull his money out and blame everyone else but himself, hasn't he? And I think he's got to shoulder some of this blame, because this is not acceptable. No. Not acceptable. Do you know what? What is the point of next week's game? Just give Featherstone the shield. I'm hoping at some point this week someone will announce that game's called off.
Yeah.
Don't sell tickets to it. Don't do anything. Just call it off. No one wants it. I saw Martin Ridyard did a tweet last night saying, can we play 9s next week, or maybe just have a drop goal kicking contest or something along those lines.
Yeah.
A crossbar challenge, I think he said, actually, sorry to misquote him. And that's exactly how it should be done, because this is pathetic. It's not acceptable. No. I think part of the problem, though, is the structure we've had. So with the structure we had and the transfer deadline and the way it works and those sorts of things, I think they've tried to keep a competitive integrity to the 8s with the way the deadlines work for the transfers and loans and dual reg cut-off points and stuff like that. But in reality, that's not really going to work with the amount of players we have available and the amount of money that's there to pay these players. So we really need to think about it, because I think the sport is committed to having all these professional, most of them in inverted commas, clubs, because we don't want to see fan bases get let down or get left behind. We don't want to see the sport die in areas that it was once so strong in, and we also don't want to see the sport held back from growing, do we?
No, but I think again it comes back to if clubs have proper academy sides and they're not relying on having a dual reg partner, then you've got more players at your disposal, haven't you?
Or if you have a proper, more formal link-up with these Super League sides who have shown this sort of stuff has shown that the right way to do things is put the drive behind the Super League, make sure that they allow for some concentration onto the grassroots as well.
Yeah.
And let it feed through that way, because these semi-professional clubs cannot sustain themselves, and they don't bring enough value to the on-field product to be propped up with cash. They deserve to be propped up, I think, with players, with facilities, completely, but not with cash, because it just gets squandered, and it doesn't see enough players make a pathway to the top. It does help some players make a pathway to the top, that is for certain, but I think that'll work out. I just think they are the part of the game that needs to be kind of listened to a bit less. Not all of the clubs, and I don't know how you manage this, but some of the clubs are doing the right thing, showing the right behaviours, and pushing forward. But other clubs are definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, it's just angered me that these clubs talk about what they think the game should have been gone, shouldn't be left behind. They're the ones who care about the future of the game, but do they really? Are they really adding the value to the future of the game? It's difficult for me to see that they are, and that's a hard thing to say, because I love all these clubs, I love all these small towns, because I love rugby league, and that's where it was boomed from, you know.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Let's hope it gets sorted out and there's a structure around the game that helps those teams put out 17 players every game next season. Batley 40, Swinton 6. Swinton's end to the season has been really woeful, and in this game they didn't even have a good first half. They had a bad whole game, and that's seen them pushed into that last place. Do you want to take us through those standings and what that means?
Yep, so crucially, Rochdale's late surge sees them safe, and now Swinton end up bottom and have a game in a couple of weeks to save their championship status. The full finishing order is Featherstone, Lee, Batley, Dewsbury, Barrow, Sheffield, Rochdale, Swinton.
Okay, so so many of those games meant nothing, didn't they, this year? So good riddance to the Championship Shield. Good luck to Swinton in their playoff survival chase. Into the League One, where it is the playoffs already, and there was 2 games. Both of them we could watch live at the same time, and I dipped in and out of both of them. Doncaster 18, Workington 30. Paul Chamberlain got in touch on this one, Sarah.
Yeah, he said, well, that was certainly more fun and enjoyable than the drivel that passes as the Super 8s. Workington's pack always looked too big, and that ultimately proved to be the case, with Sean Penkiewicz marshalling them superbly and Wilkes and Fooey leading the way. What a dilemma. 2 teams in the Championship to boost Cumbrian Rugby League, or the Bulls to go up to reinvigorate a core club and to boost attendances.
Well, you could have both still, Paul. I watched more of this one than I did of the Bradford one. And I would say that from the bits I picked up, and I didn't watch it closely enough to pick out star performers like Paul was able to, but the pattern of the play seemed to certainly be that Workington were on top, and when Doncaster took an 8-0 lead, that felt like against the run of play. Workington had already had a try ruled out, and then a close call where they knocked on just before scoring as well. So Workington, good value definitely in this one.
Yeah, it was a bit like picking your favourite child for me. You know, Workington coached by Price and Doncaster coached by Horn. Yeah,
of course, and obviously Donny have a lot of players, and Liam Harris was playing for them in this one, wasn't he? Along with let me just go through and tell me which one of these was is from your academy. Jack Sanderson, I think, is from you guys, and that's Ross Osborne as well, isn't he? He's from you guys. Yeah, so a couple of you, as well as Liam Harris.
Was Connor Bauer playing?
No.
I'm sure I saw a tweet from someone else, and I can't remember who it was now.
Connor Scott?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, never mind. I've not got a team sheet, but yeah.
Yep, okay. And then Bradford 47, Oldham 0. Alan got in touch.
Yep, he said, comprehensive win as you might expect, but we are one step closer. Just need to turn over Workington for once this season.
Yeah, I mean, dominant for the Bulls in this one, and they have to play their bogey team and their former hero Leon Price. So really interesting one that lined up there. Women's Super League. It was the final round of fixtures. The results were St Helens 24, Castleford 14, Wigan 26, Bradford 8. I watched this one. Very, very windy conditions at Robin Park, and Wigan's score would have been much higher if the goal kicking was a bit more straightforward than it turned out to be. But I mentioned earlier, Rachel Thompson scored a hat-trick in this one for the Wigan side. Gemma Walsh put in a few really nice touches as well there. A couple of the Bradford players that have played for England and stuff over the years were playing their last games in this one as well, I understand. Let me try and get to the team sheets and pick out some of the names. I think Kirsty Maroney, who's been a mainstay, and Beth Sutcliffe as well were two of the ones that were leaving the game there. I thought Big Jodie Aspin played well for Wigan as well, playing at loose forward. So well done to Wigan anyway. And then it was York 6, Leeds 50. A couple of pictures went on our Instagram feed from this. Dom Hodgson was at this game. Leeds winning comfortably. It sealed their place at the top of the table to take home the inaugural Super League Leaders Shield for the women's game. And now that moves into interesting semi-finals, which was Saints win over Cass confirmed